Recording. Here we go.
Here we go.
We're recording. Hello, I am Laz Fire, and this is my friend Ophelia Crane. And Amy's back there doing her thing as well somewhere. Yep, there's Amy. So we just recorded something like 27 minutes of us just kind of shooting the breeze. I'll probably put that out too, so people can see us doing, chit-chatting. But so I wanted to hear about this movie thing that's happening. What's going on with this movie? One of your books, or a story from one of your books, is being adapted to screen. What's going on there?
Yeah, the story is called the movie's called Serving Gary. And it's from the short story The Business of Husbands and Wives in 3 a.m. My book 3 a.m., which is available on Amazon. Looks like that.
This book, 3 a.m.
Yes.
Cool.
Or there's a white cover too, so either that one or that one.
Right. This is the first edition.
That is the first edition.
The second edition has a white cover. Is it blue? Is this in blue or is it still in red?
It's red.
Still
it's red.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that it's from the short story. What's it called?
Business of Husbands and Wives.
Okay. On page 102.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us about that.
The story is, it's a horror story. It's a scary story.
That's what you do. You write.
And it's about the story in a nutshell is about complacency and domestic violence. The main character is a woman who is being abused, and she decides one day to do something about it. And without giving away too much, there is a stew involved, and people get eaten, and it's really a fun kind of thing.
Wait, there's a what involved?
Okay, well, she kills her husband.
Oh, okay.
And puts him in a stew.
In a suit.
In a stew.
In a stew. Okay, sorry. Zoom audio.
And then feeds her neighbors the stew. And
you're not telling the whole plot of the story, are you?
A little bit, yeah.
So the movie is going to be about a woman who has been dealing with domestic violence and has decided to take her husband's life and then take its flesh and feed it to her neighbors.
More or less, yeah.
More or less?
Yeah. Give or take.
So it's a horror movie, but different.
It's different in that the story isn't, because I think the first impression of the story is that it's a story about domestic abuse. The domestic abuse is really the backdrop.
Okay.
The story is about complacency. It's about the whole what do you call it? It's about the bystander effect. How people will sometimes know something is happening, or they see a crime happening and they think someone else is going to do something about it, so they don't do anything about it. It's the Kitty Genovese thing. If I ever the Kitty Genovese story, this woman in New York that back in the 60s who was murdered, like stabbed a whole bunch of times, and her screams could be heard all up and down the street and nobody did anything about it. And it's the bystander effect, basically.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so someone
decided
that they needed to make a movie about it.
Yeah. Yes.
So that happened.
The short answer to that is nepotism.
Nepotism.
My nepotism, yeah. My son-in-law is a filmmaker, William Colter V, and he happened to have read one of my stories, and he came to me and said, "I want to make this into a movie. Let's do it. Let's make this into a movie." And to which I responded, "All right, that sounds like a plan. Let's do it." So fortunately, he's got quite a few. He's been making movies for quite some time, short films independently. So he knows way more about this sort of thing than I do. So he really has been getting the ball rolling and getting like the money together for it. And we're casting right now. We're actually looking over um, potential actors and actresses, which is great. And we're shooting is supposed to start in the fall. Knock on wood. Everything goes okay. knock on wood.
Are you involved in the adaptation of the story to a screenplay?
Yes, I am. I wrote the screenplay.
Okay.
Which I didn't have to. I volunteered, obviously.
That's a lot to do.
It is, but it's screenplays, surprisingly enough, are easier to write than novels. They don't involve so much. Like novels involve a lot of like just pretext and background and poetry and prose, and there's a lot more involved in writing a novel than a screenplay. So it wasn't that difficult, really, this one, especially since I'd already written the story itself. But yeah, I think the hardest part is trying to translate what I wrote to something that could be seen visually.
Right. Without having to be explained with words, right?
Yeah, the whole show don't tell, and which that I didn't realize that was going to be a problem until I actually started writing it, and I'm like, wait a minute, how do I tell this story? I don't know how to tell this story. I know how to tell it in written form. How do I tell it as a movie? So it'll be slightly different from the story, but I think it works really well.
And you said you're in casting right now. Like, how many characters do you have to cast for this thing?
There is the main character, the husband, the daughter, and the neighbors, and I think there is also and a dog, oh, and another child, a small child. So like 6 roles.
That's not bad.
Not counting any extras or anything.
Right. Wow. And where do you think they'll be filming this? In Texas? Texas.
Hot Texas.
Hot ass Texas.
Probably be 112 degrees.
Oh, what it was here yesterday.
Right, you're out west too.
Well, it shouldn't be too bad in the fall if that's when you're gonna start filming it. So
yeah. So yeah, we're really hopeful that this does really, that people see it and like it. As I understand it, and don't quote me on it, it's supposed to be on Amazon Prime. Knock on wood.
really?
That's where it's supposed to go, hopefully. So it's maybe also YouTube as well.
Does he have a YouTube channel that he puts his stuff on?
That's a good question. I think he does. I'll have to look it up. I don't know the answer to that. I'm pretty sure he does, because I feel like I've seen the stuff that he does on YouTube.
Yeah, we should put a link to that somewhere.
Yeah, I'll have to get it from him.
And also, there's this 3 a.m. is available on Amazon, right?
Yes.
And so we can put a link to that in the description. The short story that the film is going to be based off of is on page, what did I say? Oh yeah, 102, The Business of Husbands and Wives. Is it an adaptation of the short story or just part of it? It's
an adaptation of
the story. Okay. And let's see. It's not really that long even, but how long is the movie going to be?
That's a good question. Screenplay was about 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that would make sense. I mean, yeah, because you got like 11 or 8 pages here. I'm like, that's going to be a short movie.
Yeah. It's a short film,
Cool though. And you think maybe you'll enter it into any kind of any of the
Girl,
content?
stop. Sorry.
Do you think you'll put it into any of like the film festivals out there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
He's probably
Um,
all involved in that, so he'll know what to
yeah.
do, right?
Yeah. One of the major goals is to kind of hopefully use this as a jumping point. I don't want this to be the only screenplay I ever write.
Yeah. Well, this is a great start. It's a short, it's a short story, and it'd be a short film, and
Yeah.
perfect. It sounds like perfect length for a festival.
Yeah. I think it's gonna go over well. I'm putting it out there. I think people are gonna like it.
Yeah,
You know.
it's very
And if
exciting.
you don't, well, that's fine too. Just watch it.
Are there any people like actors or any actors that you um like you kind of wish you could get? Like
For this, or just
yeah, for this. Like, do you have anybody? Is there anybody like in your mind? I know like I've done some writing, and a lot of times I'll have like an actor in mind, and I kind of visualize them as part of like who I'm writing about. Is that something
the
that
only person, the only person that I thought would be a really good Vivian, the main character, is I can't think of her name. She plays
let's look it up.
wait.
I'm ready to
On
look it up.
Discovery, she plays Tilly. Tilly?
Yeah.
Tilly on Discovery.
Talking about the red-headed girl?
Yeah. Do you remember her name?
Mary Wiseman.
Mary Wiseman. I think she would be awesome.
Oh, on Discovery, on Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
She's cool. I love that character.
I love her.
Yeah. I didn't think you were watching that. Oh, you like Star Wars. You don't like you don't like Star Wars, you like Star Trek.
I'm a Trekkie, yeah. Yeah.
You don't like Star Wars?
I like Star Wars, but I mean, if you put me in a room and told me to watch one or the other, I'm picking Star Trek.
I get it. I like them both. They're different. When I was a kid, I watched Star Trek because it had, sound like Star Wars.
Yeah.
They made toys for Star Wars, but I didn't see Star Wars or Star Trek toys. So how was I supposed to like it?
Yeah, they made Star Trek toys, just nobody bought them.
Man.
It wasn't that kind of show.
Next Generation had Star Trek toys that were decent. Anyways, we're off topic. It's important. We're talking about 3 a.m.s.
3 a.m. Which is
112, right?
102.
I keep screwing that up. Anyways, that's going to be really neat. And so, how long do you think it will take to start or to finish filming it if you guys start in the fall?
Barring that nothing crazy happens, I'm sure it won't take very long. It's not, given that it's a short film, maybe it'll be done in a few months. I don't anticipate it being, a long shoot by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, we're going to have to just come back and check and see how that's going.
Yes, we are.
You should make sure you get like videos, like when you go down there to Texas, take some cool videos.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm doing a cameo. So I'll be taking all sorts of videos and stuff on set.
You're going to do a cameo like Stephen King?
I'm going to do a cameo like Stephen King.
You should be some crazy, like just random person waiting in line at the bank who, I don't know, gets upset on the phone or something, or maybe like a crazy homeless person that's begging for cheese or that's what I would do. Can I be in your movie begging for cheese as a homeless person? I don't know why I say shit.
That ain't a bad idea though, actually. She goes out of the grocery store and I'm like, change, please. Give me some change.
It just seems like every time he does a cameo, it's like it's comical. He does something kind of funny.
Almost every time.
Creep show. The first Creep show, he turned into like a veggie person or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a vegetable guy. He was a priest in Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
Was he in Sleepwalkers? I feel he was in Sleepwalkers too.
Oh, Stephen King. Anyway,
Ah,
okay. All right. Well, look out for Ophelia Cranes movie, which is what is the working title of it?
Serving Gary.
Say it again.
Serving Gary.
Serving. Gary.
Yeah, get it? Serving Gary.
Got it. That's, but not the business of husbands and wives.
No, that's the name of the short story it's from.
Why do you always got to change the name?
I don't know. Because I wanted to. There's not a reason for it, because I wanted to.
It's my fucking movie, and I'll do what I want. All right. Well, we'll check back with that when there's more details. That's going to be fun.
It'd be great.
Meanwhile, look for 3 a.m. on Amazon,
Yes.
and we'll put some links in there for that. So people are interested. You also have several other books. I've got these other two here, like this one. It's about lions, like the anthropomorphication of lions, as I recall.
Yes. Shape-shifting lions.
Yes.
Shape-shifting lions.
Shapeshift. Oh, I read like half of it about 3 years ago.
Oh Lord, I forgot you bought that one.
Oh, the print in this one really small.
That was the first. Okay, that was the first book, and I like to pretend it doesn't exist because it's the cover pops. Okay, but yeah, there are issues with that one. But no, if anyone who gets it, fine. I'm happy you read it, like it or love it. But don't at me about it. It was my first book. I was young.
How old were you when you wrote 3 a.m., by the way, before we stop?
Oh crap, I don't know.
Or how long ago was it? We could put
Okay,
it
wait. All right. So I was 30 when I wrote The Affair. The next one was Pride Sacrifice. So maybe I was 35. 3 a.m. was right after that. So
You were doing this when we were going to massage school?
I'm always writing.
Oh.
More than likely, yeah. 3 a.m. was sometime after that, because I think that I might have been, I feel like that was like right after that though. 36, 40, somewhere in there. And Moral Compass took me a minute. So I just finished that a couple years ago. But yeah. I'm always writing.
I was just curious. I don't know if that's relevant, but I don't, I haven't done a lot of interviews before. So I probably asked a lot of questions that don't mean anything, but
People love that.
yeah.
They do. They want to know stuff about people.
Well, okay. All right, I'm going to end this right now because I have more questions and we'll just go on forever. So let me stop. So how do we stop? Okay, stop recording. So bye-bye. Ophelia Crane, 3 a.m., Serving Gary.